Lesson 41, Part 4 is solving equations by using proportional skills. Go ahead and get your notes ready. Push play when you're ready to begin. All right, again, this should be a fairly short lesson. We're using a skill that we've learned before when we're using proportions. So I think we'll get through this fairly quickly. The only difference on using the proportions for inequalities as opposed to the equal sign is before it really didn't matter which way we went on our cross multiply. And this, it's important that we go in a specific order. So I'll show you what I mean as we go. So let's go do our first we do. We have x divided by 2 is greater than 8. So whatever x is, when we put this here, this division problem is going to have to be a larger number than 8. So we'll go ahead and do the steps we did before when we had problems similar to this, but there was an equal sign there. We'll make a fraction out of it. So go ahead and put step 1, make all fractions. So one of those numbers is a fraction already. Or if it wasn't, it was x divided by 2 equals 8, and we've made it x divided by 2 equals 8 over 1. Okay. So that's step 1, make them all fractions. Step 2 was to multiply, that's an M, multiply. In this case, it's bottom across to top and down. Here's what I mean. We're going to go from the 2 here up across to the 8, 2 times 8, and bring it down. Your answer is 16. Then from the other side here, we're going to go 1 times x is x and bring it down. The reason it's important to do it in this order is we're not talking about an equal sign anymore. We're talking about an inequality. And if we want this sign to be pointing the right direction, we need to go in the right order. So it's almost like a butterfly. We butterfly that. So over and down, over and down. And then we just bring down, straight down, the exact same sign the way it is. To graph that, and you guys are probably getting pretty good at graphing. Let's go by 2's, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Circle it. That's a 6. Don't bubble it in. Looks like I bubbled it in. I didn't mean to. Boop, boop. Circle it. Don't bubble it in because there's not the equal sign with it. Look at your variable. The alligator's going to him, so whatever this number is, he must be bigger than 16. So he could be 17 or 18 or 19, anything that way. So there's your first we do. All right, let's do we do number 2. This is 4 is less than 20 divided by x. So we're changing everything to a fraction. This would be 4 less than 20 divided by x. We would write it 4 over 1, that changes that to a fraction, is less than 20 divided by x, which was how that was set up in the first place. But sometimes it might be written like that, and you just rewrite it like that, 20 divided by x. All right, so we've changed this to a fraction now. And so next we're going to multiply in a bottom, across, and down pattern, like bottom, across, straight down, bottom, across, straight down. So that's how we multiply this. So it's going to be 1 times 20 is 20. X times 4 is 4x. And bring your inequality straight down. And now you're faced with step 3. If your variable's not alone, get variable alone. And this just goes back to exactly what we worked on in the previous lesson. So here's my ocean, here's my variable. Multiply is happening, so I'm going to undo it by dividing away the 4 from that side. Do the same on the other side of the ocean. And 4 fits into 20 5 times. When we graph that, a little number line because I'm out of room, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, circle 5, and whatever this number is, it's smaller because the alligator's going for that 5, and that's the bigger number. So this number must be smaller than 5. So it could be 4, 3, 2, 1, any of those, so it goes that way. Okay, now that you've seen a few examples, you try one. Push pause to try it, and push play when you have it. Let this play just a second more. I'll get the steps out there for you. All right, there's the steps for you. Make them fractions. Bottom across down multiply. We'll call that bad multiply, B-A-D, bad multiply, and get variable alone. If you do not have these in your notes already, make sure you write them into your notes. And then go ahead, push pause, solve this problem, and then push play when you have an answer. All right, let's see how you did. First, I need to make these fractions. That already is a fraction. I'll make that a fraction by putting a 1 under it. Step 2, bottom across down multiply, bad multiply. So I'm going to do some bad multiply. 1 times x is x. 4 times 8 is 32. Bring down exactly the way he is, the symbol, the ocean. And what this is telling us is that, and final step, of course, get variable alone. This one, he's already alone, so we're good. And what this is telling us is that x, whatever x is, we don't know what he is, but whatever he is, he's smaller than or equal to 32. So if I were to graph that, let's count by tens, 10, 20, 30. So 32 would be right around in there. Circle it. I'm bubbling it because of this guy here. So that says it could be 32, whatever x is. He could be 32 maybe, or he's going to be smaller because the alligator's going after that, so that must be bigger. So, or he could be smaller. So 32, 31, 30, anything over here. I'll put that in a different color. Anything over here. All right, and here's you do number 2. I'm not going to write the steps off to the side this time because you have them in your notes now, so just use your notes and the steps that you already wrote down into your notes. And solve this one, push pause, and then push play when you have an answer. All right, let's see if you have the answer correct. We have 15 divided by x. 15 divided by x is greater than 3. Step 1, I'm going to make both of them a fraction so I can use my knowledge of proportions. Step 2, I'm going to bad multiply, dragging this across bottom, across, and down. That's 3x times 3 is 3x. And then from here, 1 times 15 is 15. Bring down the alligator the same direction he was facing already. And then step 3, get the variable by himself. In this case, my variable is not alone. So just like in our previous lesson, there's my ocean. Here's my variable. Multiply is happening. So I'm going to go ahead and divide out that 3 to get my variable alone. Cancels him out. That alligator stays facing the same direction. That was a mistake I saw a few people making in the previous lesson. We just changed it around, and we can't just go randomly changing it around without a good reason. So it stays facing the same direction, and 3 fits into 15 5 times. So what you should have gotten is x, whatever it is smaller than 5, or 5 is greater than x, okay? On a number line, what that would look like, nice small number so I can do this one easily. We've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Circle it. Don't bubble it. And take a look at your variable. This number, whatever it is going to be smaller than 5 because the alligator's going after the 5, so it must be bigger. So this is a smaller number. So it could be 4, could be 3, could be 2, could be 1, could be 0, or anything in the negatives. It could be any of those numbers, so that's why I mark it that way. And that's it. That's the lesson today. So if you feel like you understand this just fine, go ahead and get the closure questions and show me so. If you need to review it, rewind and review it. And if you need extra help from me, come see me.